The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
Back on the program is Dr. Orly Taitz. She is an attorney, a real estate agent, and a dentist, considered by many to be the queen of the birther movement. Orly, you know, we spoke very shortly after the re-election of President Obama, and at the time I emailed you and I asked you, because I'm on your newsletter, what happens now with the birther movement and challenging President Obama's eligibility? At the time you said, I'm not sure yet. What is your decision? Does the fight continue to show President Obama to be ineligible to be U.S. president?
Sure. Not only not eligible to be the U.S. president, but committing really serious crimes. Now we have received more information. We're suing Obama not only as not being eligible, but also being involved in RICO, in a racketeering conspiracy, together with the Commissioner of Social Security, Director of Health Registrar in Hawaii, Alvin Anaka.
No, but Orly, we've seen a few pieces of evidence, but I want to. You said two things. You said at the beginning, and this is really my focus. Not only is President Obama not eligible to be president, but he's also committed serious crimes like racketeering.
Yes,
let me temporarily, just temporarily, separate the two and focus on the ineligible to be president. On what basis is he ineligible to be president, separate from the fact that he's committed all of these crimes that you point out?
Because well, those things are actually intertwined, because
they are.
He got in the position of the U.S. president committing flagrant fraud and using forged and stolen IDs.
Flagrant fraud.
Yes, and it's the same as E-Verify. There are two governmental agencies they check. And here it shows that the Social Security number that Barack Obama is using was not assigned to him.
Orly, let me slow you down just a bit, because you're going to start losing the audience with it. So we have an unflattened PDF, and also we have a Social Security number that doesn't exist. So that's the case, essentially, for President Obama being ineligible.
Oh no, there are more. There's more evidence than that.
Okay.
First, as I said, this is Barack Obama's tax return,
Okay.
and it shows the Social Security number that Barack Obama himself entered in his tax returns. This is a Connecticut Social Security number that failed both SSN and E-Verify.
Okay.
Moreover,
it failed E-Verify.
Now we got information that this Social Security number, I am working with multiple investigators. Where did it come from?
Yeah.
And we found the individual. We have reports from several licensed investigators showing that the Social Security number was issued originally to a gentleman who was born in 1890. And actually we found he was a Jewish immigrant from Russia.
Go figure.
In his census, it shows him being married but not having any children. So when he passed away
Right, there wouldn't be anybody alive to say, hold on a second, that's my father's social. It's perfect in a sense, right? That's why you would pick that number.
Exactly. And usually that's what is done.
Yeah.
So now I'm working through different channels.
I think, let me stop you there, because there's so much evidence. We've gotten into some of it, but I have to just get a few more questions in here. Number one, I know that you always want to talk about the evidence. Where do you believe President Obama was born?
Well, it doesn't matter what do I believe.
But it matters to me, Orly. You always say this. To me, nothing matters more than where you think he was born.
Okay, let me respond, and I will give you the best response possible. I'm not important. I'm a nobody. Barack Obama.
Orly, you're the queen of the birther movement.
Thank you. But in his own biography, submitted by Barack Obama himself to his own publisher, he wrote, born in Kenya, raised in Indonesia. And you can see not only this article and biography that Obama himself provided, but also you can see the full transcript of the session of the Assembly of the Republic of Kenya.
So do you believe that that's based on that, you believe President Obama was born in Kenya? Is that fair to say?
Well, based on the fact that all of the copies,
so you believe that? Based on the evidence, you believe that?
No, believe.
Orly, I only care about what you believe. That's why we're doing this interview.
What is important is where is the truth? The truth is there are no original documents. Hawaii didn't release original birth certificate.
Yeah.
Here, Director of Health.
Orly. Let me say, if you didn't believe any of this stuff was true, you wouldn't be on this investigation, right? So you must believe President Obama was born in Kenya. Otherwise, this would be a huge waste of your time, would it not?
As I say, David, nice try, but my beliefs are completely irrelevant.
But Orly, you're acting like I'm trying to trick you into telling us just casually what you think. That's what the interview's about. What does Orly Taitz think?
David, I believe that we have to have a legitimate president.
Well, we all believe that, don't we?
A selective service certificate with a flagrantly forged stamp.
Orly, don't you think if it was forged, people would have been smart enough to forge it with the right number of digits?
Because what they did, and as a matter of fact, both the chief investigator of the U.S. Coast Guard and a number of individuals have found multiple problems. And the reason it is forged, what they did, they took the stamp, they cut it in half. They used the 2008 stamp and inverse and put 80. And you know, there's something
Orly,
else.
but let's just talk. Analytically here. Don't you think if it was a forgery, there would be a better way to forge it than inverting a 2008 stamp?
Well, let me tell you something. And people ask me this question, and Obama cannot put an ad saying, "I'm looking for the best forger available." He can't. So he has to use whatever he has.
He got a subpar forger.
And each and every document we have shows signs of forgery. Let me tell you something. When the Boston bomber was contacted by his friends and asked, well, aren't you the one? And he said, LOL, laughing out loud. When the guy in Cleveland who was arrested recently for his crimes was asked, and he responded, LOL, laughing out loud. And when Obama was asked, well, why are you using forged IDs? His response is de facto, LOL, laughing out loud.
So you're likening President Obama, if I understand, to the Boston bomber and the Ohio hostage taker who had 3 women strapped in shackles in his basement for a decade. That's the likening you're doing.
No, don't. And that's why I was very hesitant in giving you an interview, because you're twisting what I'm saying.
No, Orly, I just repeated it. I just repeated what you said, Orly.
No, what I'm saying, that when you confront any criminal, Obama is not the only one. When you confront any criminal and ask him, well, can you provide an explanation to this? This question is, laughing out loud, why, couldn't I find a better forger? No, I need a specific answer.
Yeah, okay, Orly, all right. I want to get, the documents are there. Why do you think it's taken so long to get Obama kicked out of office for being ineligible? Like, what will you be able to do it before his presidency is over?
I'm very hopeful. As you know, we have now Benghazi. You know that in 1932, there were thousands of highly educated judges in Germany, and not one single judge found actions of Adolf Hitler to be unconstitutional or illegal. So,
but again, likening President Obama to Hitler, I don't know if it's gonna be influential to too many people. I don't know if you're gonna get people behind you with that.
What I want people to do is start thinking, because people are saying, well, why judges are not doing anything? Answers here. Just as there are no answers in the indictment. Well, who told General Ham and other high-ranking officers?
Well, that's another story altogether.
Exactly.
Dr. Orly Taitz, I want to try to we've given you twice as much time as we promised. I want to try to finish on a positive note. You are, of course, a renowned dentist. Is it better to floss in the evening or in the morning?
Best thing, floss wise. You have to be sure what you're doing. Just extra protection to be on the safe side. And for the same reason with Obama, I want this nation to be safe. And in order for this nation to be safe, we need answers. We need to see all the original ideas of Barack Obama.
And do you recommend whitening toothpastes?
Well, no specific company is paying me for advertisement, so I don't want to advertise one specific company or another.
Fair enough.
So
I think that's respectable. We've been speaking with Dr. Orly Taitz. She is an attorney. She is a real estate agent. She is also a dentist. Thank you so much for being here. I encourage everybody to go to your website, explore all of the evidence, and judge for themselves. That's all we can really ask of people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.